All right, Sons Out Brains Out. Don't think twice, just blank. You know who it is, but if you don't, it's Mass Millions. It's your favorite, finest, and funniest Forex trader, something with an F. We're gonna talk about how I got into trading. We're gonna talk about how I got into Forex. If you didn't know, my father is a trader. He doesn't do Forex. He does options. Trades Boeing, SPY, all that stuff. I don't even speak that language, but it kind of brought me into the world mentally because I used to wake up at like 2 in the morning. He's on the computer, and I used to see back then it was just black screens and just that green structure line. So that's all I used to see, and I'm like, hell no. But here I am today. So originally, when it first happened, I was staying with my cousin. I had just moved from California, dropped out of school, had nowhere to go. My cousin took me in. My brother brought me to my cousin's house and dropped me off there. Funny story about that, but that's its own thing. So I ended up working for a moving company, and a couple months in, I actually met this gentleman, this white dude. I don't even know his name. He quit that same day, or he quit that next day. He didn't show up to work that next day. But we were on the truck. We got booked to the same truck on the same job. And I'm nosy. I'm seeing him like he's like holding his phone out, and he's like looking at his friend. I guess his friend is showing him, trying to get him into the MLM, trying to get him into the MLM. And he's like, well, I'm not into it, but bro, look at this. You see the profits, and like it's a whole organization and something called Forex. And I'm like, never heard about it in my life. So me coming from where I come from, my brain turned it off. Honestly, my brain turned it off. Now, what's funny about that situation was I don't like to fit in. So it's not like I try not to fit in, but it's something about moving with the wave sometimes that just feels off to me. It just feels like it's too like almost habitual and not instinctual, if that makes sense. So everybody around was like, yeah, that guy tried to show me this and that guy tried to show me this. And they was just like, they kind of threw it away too. And I'm like, You know that thing about, I don't know why I play this Miami music, it make you want to move. But it's a Miami story. It's what happened to me. That's where I found Forex for real in Miami, Miami Gardens. Um, so what happened with that was, one second, all these commercials. So what happened with that was, I actually, did some research. I went home, I looked up Forex, and it said, of course, the first thing I see is $3 trillion market. That was at that time. Of course, it grew. I think it's like 5 or 6, possibly more now. $1 trillion. You know anybody making $1 trillion? Me neither. So that obviously was like setting off alerts to my brain. Now the next thing was I I looked at YouTube, and YouTube, whether it's demo or real, people are putting out numbers. $100 to 100K account. You feel me? $200 to a 20K account. You feel me? 20K account to $500,000. This is before they started doing the clickbait in a day, in an hour, in 30 minutes. Before all that nonsense, YouTube is a lot of people just want some type of fame for some reason, or they want some clout. I don't know what it does for you. Don't do nothing for me. I like real education, real progress, real results. So I went on there. I said, ooh. I'm seeing numbers I never seen. I never even heard of before. This is like government contract numbers. So I'm like, okay, let me look up for something structured, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and nobody around me is thinking about trading. When they think about trading, they automatically think about losing money. So in my head, I said, okay, let me sign up for this company. Next check I get, I'm gonna apply it to to Forex, but not on my own. I'm gonna go through the IML. That's the name of the company, MLM. I don't even know what these are, but I guess they're pyramid schemes to build money for the people who started it or who get into it early, and then it's kind of like a snowball effect after. The people at the top are making more money while people at the bottom are making a little money. And then the newest people or the late people are really not making anything and really not learning too much. But what it did do was introduce me to the knowledge of what pips are, what currency is, what exchange is, and then it reverted me to, or redirected me to baby pips, and baby pips got me right. So I took a lot of notes on that, and then in that time, there was a lot of psychology talk because that's how they would get people in. So every meeting, it was pretty much the same thing. The dude that helped me, or signed me on, he pretty much gave the same thing, talking about the black family, talking about culture, talking about the way we think about money, talking about generational wealth and legacy and, the whole spiel, which is true, but how you use it, I felt like it was a little manipulative. So that happens, I do that for a month. Cut that off. I'm not paying $200 a month, and I'm not even making $200. I wasn't even making $20 at the time. And they're telling me, oh, for the probability to work in this game, you have to take every trade. And I'm like, the way I'm working, I'm sometimes working 6-hour days up to like 14-hour days with the moving company. So I'm like, no, I can't do that. That's gonna take away from the job that's actually funding trading. So I couldn't do that. So I disengaged from them. I know they were a little hot about that, but that's my money and that's my time. I don't really care. But what I did do is I took it upon myself. I signed up with FX Choice. Put about like $150, $150 in there, and was trading AU. Cause that's one thing they did tell me was try to pick weak with strong. Pair weak with strong, and pick something that's on your level. And I guess everybody said that AU was entry level. So I said, let me trade AU solely, and trade that. So I was making money. I was doing the 1 cent lot, the penny lot. So I was trading that, made like $5, lost $3, then turned it up a little bit, made like $6, then lost like $12. Then I was just losing from there. Just started losing because I didn't have a schedule. I was losing sleep from work, I was just trying to get out of my job, of course, trying to get out of my cousin's house. Just running from stuff, which is the rule number 1. Do not run to trading running from something else because you will blow everything you have. You will pawn your laptop. You will put your house, on papers. You'll sell your dog if you can, Do not run from anything and run towards trading, So funny thing is, that was in 2018. So I traded that for like a couple of days, maybe a week max. Stopped trading that account. I think I had like $12 left in it, and then FX Choice took the rest from being inactive on the account. So it was all good, That was my first taste. You feel me? So fast forward about to 2019. So in this time I'm working jobs, going through stuff personally, going through health issues. And then I meet someone. My cousin introduced me to this young lady. I meet her. We start talking. Things getting a little serious. She has a son, so I'm doing the whole stepdaddy thing, or trying to at least. And yeah, I didn't try. I didn't really try. I didn't really do it. I wasn't into it. I was just into her, and I just liked that companionship at the time because I didn't really have no people I was close with. I was staying in a motel with, an ex-felon at the time, I got real close, when I was doing bad in I just started chilling around a lot of people who were ex-felons, people who were in and out of prison, people who were robbers, killers. Like, I don't know. I just felt like something was off, These not bad people, but I've never been arrested. I've never been put in handcuffs. I have a clean record, Almost clean driving record, too, if it wasn't for one of these little Miami these street cameras, these new street cameras that just snap everybody's license plate and try to tax everybody. But I didn't feel like I was supposed to be around that directly. These are good people, like I said. They helped me out. They looked out for me. They taught me a lot about street stuff. But I'm more so, I felt like I needed to be around people who I was more like, before I get into something, because it did start getting me into things that could have prevented me from making it here today. So I ended up moving from the motel, moving down to Miami. I was in Orlando at the time. Moved down to Miami, and ended up staying with family. Stayed with my father and my little sister. It's like my half sister, but that's my sister. You feel me? I don't play that. That's my full sister, and I had never really developed a relationship with her, so it was a 2-for-1. I got to be with this young lady and her son, and then I got to be with my father, my stepmom, my little sister, Everybody, it was okay. And the job I was working in Orlando, they actually had a different branch in Miami, so I just simply transferred. And they offered me more money, more responsibility, of course, but more money nonetheless. So it was all good. So I did that move, and I think I moved in September. I had only been working there for like a month. Let me make sure. We're at 11 minutes. All right. I had only been working there for like a month. I promise you, no lie. I promise you on everything I love. I had only been working there like a month, working for this moving company, not doing anything else, just with this relationship with this young lady. And I was just, working the job. And the job was good. They was giving me a lot of hours, a lot of responsibility. I was working with other branches, driving to Orlando, driving to Titusville. I was driving to Kissimmee. I was driving to West Palm. I was really building, because that was something I was good at, and just working on leadership and customer service and just learning business and learning how to run a franchise. So this was a time where I was just going through some type of stuff with myself, I'm smoking, I'm drinking, I'm having sex, I'm all over the place. I feel like my relationship with my family isn't developing like I wanted to. The job happened to lie to me about how much they were gonna pay me. They took like $2 off. When I actually got there, they was like, oh yeah, we can't give you this, but since you're here now, we can offer you this. So I feel like they jibbed me, and that when you break my trust and my loyalty like that, I feel like we're never gonna have a smooth relationship. How you start is sometimes how it's gonna be carried out, and sometimes how it can end. So I was hot with everybody. I was hot with the world, and God has a funny way of sitting you down. God has a funny way of sitting you down, because I wasn't into anything of the sorts. But one evening, and I remember this day, of course, because it's something that hit me in multiple ways. But I kept going. We had this corner store a block away from my house, like, less than a 5-minute walk. I keep going over here. I met some young lady in there, Haitian woman. She know how to cook. I'm telling her what's the special of the day. She tell me what's the special, but she said she wanted to make it fresh for me. She look out for me. I don't like nothing that stuff sitting in the pot all day or that stuff refrigerated. So I go in there one time. Yeah, I got off work early, so I'll go in there one time. She's like, oh, we just ran out. I'm gonna make some more. Okay. I go back like an hour later, and I guess she was like, oh, it's not ready yet. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go do some things. Got a haircut. Go chill with the homie, go smoke, go chill with my cousin. We in the back of the house shooting a BB gun, shooting the BB gun. The BB gun got the lasers on it, the red beam, So I'm playing with that. I'm like, hey, it's getting late. I'm finna go back up to the store real quick, and she better have my stuff ready. I'm not leaving until I get that food, because she know how to whip, And I was eating out a lot, being on the road, being on trucks. I go down there. Like I said, less than a 5-minute walk. It's literally a block. This is where my sister, the park is right there. There's a park, community park. My little sister go there all the time. My dad used to ride bikes over there. You feel me? It's just like the neighborhood spot. You can't miss it. I walk down there. It's like 7 o'clock. I walk down there. I go inside. She's like, oh, I got everything ready but the rice. I'm gonna make you some fresh rice. Rice take like 5 minutes. 10 minutes. I said, okay, I'm finna go outside, holler at my boy EJ real quick. Elijah, I used to talk to him on the phone. He used to help me through a lot of things. At that time, he was on this little red pill, blue pill stuff, alpha male. So it was entertaining, you know. It taught me some things, you know. It was real funny, you know. But he's cool. I know him since elementary. Most of the people I was talking to at the time, I knew for a long time. My boy Sam knew Sam for a long time. EJ knew EJ since elementary. Pretty much everybody. So it was being back. I'm from Broward County originally, so being in Miami, it was still good. You know, I wasn't deep in Miami. I was on the outskirts, but by the Dolphin Stadium. You know, but I was still messing with my people that I knew since I was like, you know, yay high, since I was in grade school. So I walked to the store. She tell me, okay, it's gonna be like 5-10 minutes. Don't leave. I said, okay, I'm gonna step outside, maybe roll up, maybe call EJ. It ain't even. I walk out the store. It ain't even like 5 minutes. And at that time, you don't really notice the time. You know, you're not thinking about it because you like, ooh, my food getting ready. Oh, let me roll up my after meal blunt. You feel me? You feeling good? So at that time, I'm like, okay. There's some old dudes who used to play dominoes up there. They playing cards, playing spades, whatever. You know, it's a chill night. Not even like 10 minutes later, I hear like the craziest fireworks that I've ever heard in my life. Cause you don't know if you don't know. You watch movies all you want to, but ain't nothing like the real thing. I'm thinking it's fireworks. So curiosity almost got me killed that day. Curiosity almost got me killed that day. Crazy, 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 crazy. I take a step forward, you know, like I'm playing linebacker or running back, you feel me? My first step is forward. It ain't take off to the house. It ain't, you know, jump over the gate, jump in the dumpster or, you know, hide. It was like, let me take a step because that sounds crazy. I don't know. It was crazy because it happened so like quick and rapidly and it was so loud. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So my first step was forward. And as soon as I take a step forward, all I see people shooting this way. Bam, 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 bam. So I'm looking at them. I don't know if the driver see me, but I know the people shooting is shooting that way, you know? So it's like I'm standing outside. There's a car in front of me, thank God. There's a car in front of me. And I see people coming like towards me, like the car's parked like this way, and I'm on this side of the car. And I see people coming on the other side of the car and they like making an angle because there's like an exit. So there's an exit on entrance on this side, entrance on this side. So they come in this one and they like kind of, you know, angle themselves, but they shooting at the back of the parking lot. They bam, 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 bam. I'm like, I really don't know what to do. Like, I've never been to war. So, my first instinct was just get down behind the car. That's the only shelter I got. These dudes shooting fireworks that I never seen in my life, never heard of it. I don't even know what they shooting for because last time I looked over there was like nobody down there. It was real chill, real quiet. This dude's drinking little beers, playing dominoes. Then I get behind the car. I'm like, oh shit, yo, like what the fuck? Yo. And this is all split second stuff. This is all fast. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? So the car, they stopped shooting, I guess, or they still shoot. So they coming out the exit. So I'm moving on the other side. The car's right here. So as they coming out the exit, I'm moving on the other side of the car, trying to rotate. So I'm thinking they didn't see me. So I'm by the hood at this time. I'm by like the headlight of the car as they coming around the back. And I'm not hearing them skirt off. You watch the movies and everything. When you see a drive-by, I'm in a drive-by right now. Like, you hear them skirt off. I don't hear anything. So I picked my head up a little bit to look through the windshield and look towards the back of the car. And I don't know if they reloaded. I don't know what happened, if they got hit. Because later on I heard, I don't know what happened at the time. So I picked my head up a little bit. And then that's when I see the dude in the front seat. I guess they said it was a 9 at the time. The dude in the front seat shooting. Like, I'm looking at the barrel. Like, they're like probably 10 yards away. They probably like 10 yards away. If you need, it's like maybe like a garage door and a half away. You know, I don't know what you need to measure, but it was close as fuck. And that's the first gun I seen. So the first gun I seen is I pick my head up and I see a 9 pointing at me. Bam, 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 bam. I'm like, yo, I get back down. I don't know, how I even got hit. I got hit in my arm. But this is where it went in. It went in here and went off. And my arm was like this. I pretty much shot my arm off, but it wasn't the 9. In the back seat, I guess it was a rifle or an AK. Bam, 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 bam. I get bullets like this, bullets big. One bullet missed the rest of my body, didn't get hit nowhere else, You feel me? God is big, God is real. Got hit here, came out this way, nothing. This is what I'm looking at. A regular 9 to 5, just moved about 4 hours. This is what I'm looking at right now. Blood is like this. I'm looking at my bone. Blood is, you feel me? And my arm's like this. So I'm thinking, I don't got a left arm no more. God punishing me. I should have never, masturbated that day. You feel me? That other day, you feel me? I don't know what happened. I'm thinking it was something I did. I punished myself 100 ways. I'm like, I know I did something. Because at the time, I'm telling you, I was hot. I was getting arguments with people. I was fighting with my girl, like all types of stuff. So I'm like, something I did. So my arm's like this. This is not here. This is where my arm is. Finally, they drive off, and I'm on the floor. I'm like scooting. I'm like army crawling around the car because they driving this way, and I'm trying to go this way. So we kind of doing a little circle. So they going this way, driving down, and I'm trying to go this way. I'm scooting, I'm military scooting, and I'm looking at my arm. I'm like, yo. There's nothing you can explain. Like, to have your arm shot off, a body part shot off, I never been shot in my life. I never shot nobody in my life. This is where my arm was. This is not here. This is where it is. I got 2 rods in here right now, like screws all the way down. I got like 17, 18 screws. Without the screws, this arm is not here. They was gonna amputate it, but I guess it cost more money. They wanted me to keep my arm too, thank God. You feel me? But it cost more money. My hospital bill was like $500K plus. I was in the hospital for a couple months. Feel me? I guess it was for protection. It was for COVID. It was to monetize. It was all the above. So I'm there, scooting on the floor. They finally drive off. I'm hearing people screaming on the other side. I'm not the only one who got hit. I'm hearing people screaming on the other side. Cars are pulling up. I got this one girl that pull up. This is. I don't know if it's your people. I don't know if it's just the neighborhood, but she pull up and start recording me. I'm leaking on the floor. My arm is pretty much gone. It's like the sirens going off like wee 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 wee. Like in my head, I'm like, bro, can I die like this? Can I bleed out like this? So I take off my jacket. I wrap my arm. I pick it up. This is one of the most painful things I've done in my life. Pick up my arm because it's hanging by like skin and a piece of tissue. I pick up my arm, and then I take off my jacket, and I wrap my jacket around it because I'm like, I can't take my jacket off. You feel me? Took it off, wrap it around it, and just like this. Because the visual pain is always worse than the physical. You feel me? The visual pain is worse than the physical most of the time. So not looking at it helped my psychology a little bit. I'm like, okay. But I'm bleeding through everything. You feel me? I'm like, it's on the floor now. I'm bleeding through everything. I'm sitting in a puddle of the blood. My whole body's covered. And I feel my arm. I'm in shock at the time. But the shock is starting to wear off. Because I had to put it back up. So my bone is poking me. You feel me? My nerves is gone. I mean, my tendon, the muscle. The bullet's like this big. That thing went straight through. I thought like 3 bullets hit me at once because I never seen the effects of that, but I guess it exploded, bomb, and went through and took the whole thing off. So I'm like, yo, I don't know how I did that though, but I pulled my phone out. I called 911. I'm cussing like a mug. God forgive me. I'm cussing like a mug. And the woman on the phone, dispatch be so calm because they hear that all day. They like numb. They numb as hell. They like, hello? I'm like, hey, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? I got hit. What the fuck? They're like, yes, we know. You feel me? Somebody else called already. Help is on the way. I'm like, these people numb. You know, they need some psych evals because she was so cool. And it wasn't cool like to the point like, calm down, sir. It's okay. What's wrong with you? She's just like, help is on the way, sir. There's nothing else we can do. Just sit tight. I'm like, bet. Pick up the phone. I said, damn, let me call my old boy because I know they heard it. That shit was loud. I didn't know how far it was, but like I said, I was a block away. My people stay a block away. So I'm like, call my old boy. He said, hello. I said, yeah, I got hit. I was so calm. I don't know why. I just calmed down in that moment. I said, hey, yeah, I got hit. He's like, yeah, I heard the gunshots. I'm on the way. He was calm too, but he always like that, you know. He always chill like that. But I said, yeah, got hit. He's like, yeah, I heard the shots. I'm on the way. I don't know what he did. He was putting on, 6 pairs of socks, but he never made it down there before the ambulance came. So he actually met me at the hospital. And then during COVID, they only let one person in, you feel me? So that was a whole story in its own. So here I am. I'm from Broad. I'm sitting on a Miami floor. Never got my food. Didn't roll up. EJ ain't pick up the phone. I was just in a drive-by. My first drive-by ever witnessed, ever heard of, ever been a part of. On either end. This woman get out the car and start recording me. Don't ask me if I need help. Don't ask me if I need napkins or something like that. Are you gonna die? Nothing like that. She just pull out. She just start. It's like, what's that? It's Black something on Netflix. That's literally what happened. I watched that Netflix, TV series, Black Mirror, I think. Yeah, Black Mirror. She literally got out the car and just said like this. So I don't know if she was involved with them, if it was some type of initiation, if it was game this. I don't know what it was. She just got out the car and said like this. Can't make this up. So I got my arm wrapped up. People walking by, helping other people and just making faces like you could tell I was fucked up. Maybe in my head I didn't think I was that messed up, but you could tell I was messed up by the way people was looking at me like damn, like boy you up. I'm like, I don't know who they is. I don't know why. Wrong place, wrong time. I'm black. I'm tatted up. It's hard to tell somebody you're an innocent bystander in this country. But believe it or not, that's exactly what happened. I didn't get my food. Like I said, my dog ain't pull up. I got weed in my pocket and all time. I start throwing shit because I'm like, they're going to try and think I'm a part of it anyway. So let me give them less, the blame on me. I got my Haitian flag on me. I'm wearing red, you feel me? So they thinking something. I already know. So where we at time? 29? I'm going to make a part 2. So I don't know if I almost died. Maybe y'all could tell me about what happened. But I started getting woozy. My dumb ass leaning on the car but I'm hearing the ambulance a little bit, but it's like faint still. I'm like, damn. And then they got other people who called before me. Does that mean I'm gonna have to wait my turn? I don't know about being fucked up like that. So I started laying down. I'm like, and as I'm laying down, my eyes start turning black. Bruh. I'm laying down. And as I'm laying down, it's like I'm laying in a coffin. You feel me? It's like weird. I'm laying down and my eyes start turning black. I'm like this. I lay down and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Hell no. I got back up on the car. I said, nah, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die up. I'm gonna die up. I'm bleeding out, you know. I don't know what's going on. I'm just holding my arm like this. It's wrapped up and I'm leaking through my sweater. I'm sitting in my blood. I can feel it. It's getting warm. I can feel everything, you know. And I know I didn't get hit nowhere else. I could tell that. Because the ambulance, they finally came. And the first thing they did was try to strip me butt booty naked. They tried to cut through all my clothes and say, let me make sure. You feel me? I said, nah, if I'm finna die, I'm gonna die with some dignity. You feel me? No, sir. No, sir. They tried to cut off my shirt, cut off my... I said, yo, take me to the ambulance. Like, and then they park way down there because it's a crime scene. I'm like, we got to go all the way over there? Like, bro, any type of movement, my arm is on fire. Fire. I said, nah. I said, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. The worst part of this, the ambulance wrapped me up in a splint. So I guess it's like a temporary cast until I get to the hospital. Wrapped my arm up so tight, dog. I could tell it's been a long day for him. I know it's a long day. I don't know how ambulance works. I don't know how the medics work, but I know sometimes they got to go upstairs, downstairs. They got to carry people. They got to false alarms. I know they was tired because he was sweating when he got to me. They was sweating. So I know it's been a long day, but them boys wrapped my arm too tight. Too tight. That was probably the worst part, you know? After we got to the hospital, they doing a dash. We drive to a far-ass hospital. I don't know why. We drove past like 3 hospitals. Went to the farthest one, but in all, that was the best. That was the best one. I'm gonna be real. That was the best one for me. They start sewing up my arm with no meds. I get to the hospital. They calling the doctor. I guess the doctor's on call. I had to wait for my surgery. I was waiting for my surgery, my first surgery. I had about like 6 or 7. My first surgery was like in 2 hours. I think I waited like 2 hours with that tight ass splint on. But they took it off when I got there, right? I had this doctor, I forget her name. It's a woman, blonde woman. She go and sew me up, and at the hospital, it's like a regular day because they teaching students and pre-med students and all that. So kids are around with like notebooks and clipboards and I'm sitting there like she's just talking to them like, okay, this is what happens. This is what happens when you're shot with a gunshot. This man is fucked up. This is what's wrong with him. Sewing up my artery to temporarily stop the bleeding. No meds, no drugs. I'm experiencing a whole new types of pain from being shot, from the splint with the ambulance put on, and then from them sewing up my arteries in front of me while I'm like looking at it. Cause I'm weird like that. I like looking at stuff. I like seeing the real stuff. So I'm not squeamish. I wasn't about to pass out or throw up, but I'm looking at her like, yo, I don't know what to do. They ain't give me nothing to bite on. Ain't no booty to squeeze on. Ain't nothing. Craziness. So that was the pre-FOREX build-up. Plus COVID, that was the pre-build-up. So I'm gonna go to part 2. Tap in if you want to see part 2. It's coming to you real soon. Brains out.